Hello, folks. This is Dave. Merry Christmas to all. I'm recording this on Christmas Eve early in the morning. I'm not expecting any of you to really view it until maybe later in the week, hoping you're all spending quality time with your families. I wanted to do a couple things. One is to share a game I used to play when I was a boy. And secondly, I have bonus coverage for Brent Richards. He showed some Japanese cards, more modern cards, and I had purchased some older Japanese cards that I wanted to show Brent. So let me tell you about the game that I used to play. The game was taught to us by a father of my best friend, who I guess used to play this game when he was a boy. It's played with dice. Use 3 dice, and the total of a roll will result in a outcome. Strikeout, walk, single, double, home run, stolen base, kind of whatever. And it was just written down. I don't remember what each number corresponded to, except for 11 was a strikeout. I know that. And I believe 8 was a walk. But what I did was, as shown here in this spreadsheet, is I computed the odds of each dice roll from 3 to 18 and what the percentage of each roll would be, and then put down hits and outs essentially corresponding to those and computed a batting average. And then what I did was compared this with the major league averages for 2024 and then tweaked accordingly the result. So you can see down at the bottom, the yellow line is the average results in the major leagues in 2024. Those are percentages. So for each at bat, there was a 24.3% chance of getting a hit, corresponds to 243 batting average, and so forth. So you can see, comparing the yellow, which is actual, and the blue, which is what I computed in my spreadsheet, I come up with a batting average about 10 points higher than in MLB last year, 252 to 243. On base percentage, about 30 points higher, and slugging about 50 points higher. And so with that, I played a single game. I'm thinking this took me 20 minutes or so, maybe, to play this game. So what I did was I took the Game 5 lineups, put them down there, and just for fun, played a single game. Of course, the Dodgers won 4-1. And so I then went through and figured out everything. So small sample size here. There was a total of 20 strikeouts, 6 base on balls. I had a 242 batting average for this game. The 5 runs was compared to almost 9 runs a game in the major leagues last year. As a quick aside, that's how I learned how to keep score. So it's another benefit of playing this game. Taught me how to keep score at a very young age. I moved into a more complex system, but I took my scorebook to the major league games for years afterwards. You could tweak this by changing the result of each dice roll. For example, 11 and 10 rolls, you have about a 12.5% chance of getting those, as opposed to 18 and 3, which are less than 0.5% chance. So if you populate the middle numbers around 10 and 11, if you populate those numbers with hits, you're going to have more runs in the game. So you could tweak this however you wanted. You could have this very run heavy by just making a couple of small tweaks. Anyway, that's what I did. I played hundreds of these games as a kid and kept statistics for each team I played. I had schedules. I had a sporting goods magazine that had simple schedules in it, round robin schedules, and in the back had percentages of win-loss percentages. Well, I used that for batting averages, but once I got over like 50 at bats, then it didn't work anymore. It didn't go out that far. So rather than do long division, I learned how to use my father's slide rule. So here I am, a 10, 11, 12-year-old kid, and I've learned how to use a slide rule. And when I went to college, I went into engineering and spent my career as a civil engineer. So I'm not sure what the cause and effect is here, whether I just like numbers, so that's why I did all this and played this game and computed batting averages and so forth, or whether the game, doing all this and computing all that stuff, led me to a life as an engineer. I don't know. Anyway, here it is. Use it how you will. If anybody wants the spreadsheet to tweak it themselves, I'm not going to guarantee that it's absolutely perfect. I could have made a mistake here or there. If you want to have the spreadsheet, if you want PDFs of the score sheet or anything, let me know. My email's down below, and you can email me and ask me for anything you want out of this. In the end, one thing I do remember from my boyhood days, or at least one season, was that Marty Keough led the league in home runs. So a sort of some bonus coverage here. I'm going to show 3 1948 Japanese cards. Brent Richards had shown some Japanese cards on his channel a week or so ago, and I told him that I had purchased some older Japanese cards for my son, who lived in Japan for 2 years and is a huge baseball fan and is a collector of cards. So I bought him these cards. Now these two players here are Takeshi Doigaki, and obviously a catcher. This one, now these are all 1948 cards. This one is a JB50 Menko disc card. It's a blank back. This one is a JCM 94 Menko card, also a blank back. And this card is of Hiroshi Oshida, who is evidently a Japanese Hall of Famer. And it's a JCM 95 card. And this card's also interesting because it's got printing on the back, and I think it's kind of cool. So that is these cards. Showing these for Brent and anybody else who's interested. These are not too expensive. I purchased these a couple of years ago. Anyway, that's the bonus coverage for you. Hope you enjoy that, Brent. Thanks for watching. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Y'all come back now. Here.